English podcast and dictation. Listen beyond the words.
Before you start, don't forget to download the practice files from the video description. Next, listen to the podcast once without taking notes. Focus on understanding the conversation and the main ideas. Then, replay the audio and write down exactly what you hear. Good luck and enjoy today's practice.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast and Dictation. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. We're really excited to be with you again today, diving into a topic that I think touches everyone, regardless of age or background.
Absolutely, Alex. Today, we're exploring why our favorite games change as we grow up. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially when I look back at the games I played as a kid versus what I enjoy now.
It's a fascinating subject, isn't it? I mean, if you had told my 8-year-old self that I'd spend hours strategizing over a complex board game or a deep RPG, he'd probably just stare at you blankly and ask where the soccer ball was.
Exactly. My childhood was all about hide and seek, tag, and endless hours building elaborate forts in the backyard. Simple pleasures, you know? The rules were often made up on the spot, and the only goal was pure, unadulterated fun.
Pure, unadulterated fun. I love that description. For me, it was always outdoor games. Kicking a ball around, climbing trees, inventing elaborate obstacle courses in the park. The more physical, the better. And the competition was fierce, even if it was just bragging rights.
Oh, the bragging rights. That's a key component of childhood games. But it was also about cooperation, wasn't it? Like when you're building a fort, you need to work together, delegate tasks, and compromise. Those early lessons in teamwork were so subtle, yet so powerful.
Definitely. And the imaginative play, we'd spend entire afternoons pretending to be explorers or knights or even secret agents. The game wasn't just the activity itself, it was the entire world we created around it. Not something I miss sometimes as an adult.
Me too. The sheer boundless imagination. As adults, we tend to categorize things more, don't we? This is work, this is hobby, this is socializing. But as kids, it all blended together. Play was learning, socializing, and physical activity all rolled into one.
That's a great point. And I think that blending is one of the first things that starts to shift. As we get older, school introduces more structured learning and play becomes more distinct. We start to gravitate towards games with clearer rules and objectives.
Right. And then as teenagers, the social aspect becomes even more dominant. Games become a way to connect, to establish pecking orders, to show off skills. Think about multiplayer video games or even just hanging out playing cards and chatting.
Absolutely. The complexity ramps up too. Our brains are developing. We're better at problem solving, strategic thinking. So a simple game of tag just doesn't offer the same mental stimulation anymore. We crave something more challenging, something that makes us think.
That's very true. I remember getting really into strategy board games in my late teens. Games with intricate rules where you had to plan several moves ahead, anticipate your opponent's actions. It felt so sophisticated compared to Candyland.
Candyland is definitely a relic of a bygone era for many of us, but it served its purpose. What do you think is the biggest driver for this change? Is it purely cognitive development, or are there other factors at play?
I think it's a combination, honestly. Cognitive development is huge, as you said. We learn to process information faster, to see patterns, to engage in abstract thought. But also, our life circumstances change dramatically.
How so?
Well, as adults, we have responsibilities, right? Jobs, families, bills to pay. We have less free time. And the time we do have, we want to spend it meaningfully. So a game can't just be fun in a simple way anymore. It often needs to offer something more.
Meaningful fun. I like that. So it's not just about the game itself, but what it provides for us now. For some, it might be escapism, a way to de-stress after a long day. For others, it's intellectual stimulation.
Exactly. Or even social connection. Think about adult sports leagues or regular board game nights. The game is the catalyst, but the real value is in the shared experience, the camaraderie, the break from routine.
That's a really good point about the social aspect. As kids, finding playmates was often as simple as walking outside. As adults, it takes more effort to cultivate those shared experiences, and games can be a structured way to do that.
Definitely. And the stakes feel different too. As kids, losing a game might mean a few minutes of sulking, but then you're over it. As adults, while we still want to win, the loss isn't as devastating. It's more about the journey, the challenge, the interaction.
Well, for some of us, losing can still be pretty devastating. I still get competitive in some games. But I agree, the perspective shifts. It's less about the outcome and more about the engagement. We appreciate the craftsmanship of a well-designed game, the clever mechanics.
Ugh, the clever mechanics. That's a whole new level of appreciation, isn't it? As a kid, I just wanted to move my piece and win. Now I can admire the elegance of a game's design, even if I'm not winning every round. It's a sign of maturity, perhaps?
Perhaps, or just a deeper understanding of game design. Speaking of maturity, what about the element of challenge? Do you think we actively seek out more challenging games as we age because our lives sometimes lack that kind of direct problem solving?
That's an interesting thought. I think there's some truth to that. Our adult lives are full of complex, often messy problems that don't have clear solutions. A good game offers a contained challenge with clear rules and a definitive win condition. It provides a sense of accomplishment that can be elusive in real life.
That's a powerful observation. The satisfaction of overcoming a clearly defined obstacle. It's almost therapeutic. And I think that's why puzzles, crosswords, or even complex strategy video games appeal so much to adults. They scratch that intellectual itch.
Totally. And let's not forget the role of technology. Back in our childhood, video games were relatively simple. Now, the graphics, the storytelling, the immersive worlds, they've reached cinematic levels. It's a completely different experience.
Absolutely. The sheer variety of games available now is staggering. From hyper-realistic simulations to indie narrative experiences, there's literally something for everyone. And this constant evolution means our preferences are also constantly being shaped and reshaped.
It's true. And sometimes I wonder if we ever truly outgrow our childhood games, or if they just get replaced by more sophisticated versions of the same core desires. Like hide and seek is about exploration and evasion. Don't we see that in stealth games or open world RPGs?
That's a brilliant connection, Emma. I never thought of it that way. So, the fundamental human desires, exploration, competition, cooperation, storytelling, they remain, but the vehicles for those desires evolve. It's like the same engine in a different car.
Exactly. And for me, that makes the whole journey of game preferences less about leaving things behind and more about transforming. We're not abandoning our inner child. We're just giving them more advanced toys to play with.
I love that perspective. It's a much kinder way to look at it. So, what about nostalgia? Do you ever find yourself drawn back to those simple childhood games, even if just for a moment?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I'll see kids playing tag in the park, and there's a part of me that just wants to join in. Or I'll come across an old board game and the memories flood back. But it's usually a fleeting feeling. The actual playing experience often falls short of the nostalgic ideal.
That's so true. The emotional memory of the game is often stronger than the game itself. You remember the feeling of pure joy. But when you actually try to play it again, you realize it's a bit too simple, or the magic isn't quite the same without the context of childhood.
Precisely. It's like revisiting your childhood home. It's full of memories, but it's not home in the same way anymore. Your needs and perspective have changed. The same goes for games. They served a purpose, and we've moved on to new purposes.
And sometimes those new purposes are incredibly complex. I've got friends who are deep into competitive online gaming where it's almost a professional sport. The level of dedication, skill, and teamwork required is immense.
That's a whole other world, isn't it? The rise of esports is a testament to how far games have evolved and how seriously they're taken now. It's not just a pastime. For some, it's a career, a community, a lifestyle.
It really highlights the spectrum of how people engage with games, from the casual player looking for a quick distraction to the dedicated enthusiast who spends hours mastering a craft. And I think that spectrum itself has broadened significantly over time.
Definitely. And what about the idea of flow state in games? That feeling where you're completely immersed, losing track of time, totally focused on the challenge at hand. Do you think adults seek that more consciously?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a huge draw. In our busy, often fragmented lives, finding something that demands our full attention and provides that deep immersion is incredibly valuable. It's a form of active meditation, in a way.
Active meditation. I like that. It's not just passive entertainment. You're fully engaged. Your brain is working, and you're getting immediate feedback. That's a powerful combination for adults who are often juggling multiple demands.
Right. And it allows us to tap into skills we might not use in our daily jobs. Problem solving, spatial reasoning, quick reflexes, negotiation. Games are a playground for these cognitive muscles.
That's a great way to put it, a playground for cognitive muscles. So, for our listeners, what do you think they should consider when reflecting on their own changing game preferences?
I'd say first, don't judge your past self. The games you loved as a kid were perfect for who you were then. And second, don't feel pressured to love what everyone else loves now. Find games that genuinely fulfill your current needs, whether that's relaxation, challenge, or social connection.
That's excellent advice, Alex. It's all about self-awareness, isn't it? Understanding what you're seeking from play at this stage of your life. Maybe it's a deep narrative, maybe it's a competitive outlet, or maybe it's just a simple, silly game that makes you laugh.
Exactly. The beauty is in the diversity. And I think it's also worth thinking about what games teach us. As kids, they teach us sharing and taking turns. As adults, they might teach us resilience, strategic patience, or even how to manage disappointment gracefully.
Managing disappointment gracefully. That's a life skill right there. And games provide a safe space to practice that. You can fail in a game without real-world consequences, learn from it, and try again. It's a low-stakes learning environment.
Totally. And I think that's why many adults are drawn to games that allow for mastery over time. Whether it's a complex video game with endless progression or a board game with deep strategic layers, the feeling of getting better, of honing a skill, is incredibly satisfying.
Oh, the satisfaction of mastery. That's a powerful motivator. It's like learning a new language, isn't it? The initial struggle, the gradual improvement, and then the moments where it just clicks. Games can offer that on a micro level.
Definitely. And for those listeners who might feel a bit guilty about spending time on games as adults, I'd say reconsider that feeling. If a game is providing genuine value, connection, challenge, relaxation, skill development, then it's not wasted time. It's an investment in your well-being.
An investment in your well-being. I couldn't agree more. It's not about being productive in a traditional sense, but about enriching your life. And that looks different for everyone. Some people find that enrichment in reading, others in hiking, and many in games.
Exactly.
And it's okay for those forms of enrichment to change over time. What fulfilled you at 10 might not fulfill you at 30, and that's perfectly normal. Our favorite games are a reflection of who we are at different stages.
Beautifully put, Alex. So, if you're a listener currently enjoying a game that your childhood self wouldn't understand, embrace it. It means you've grown, you've evolved, and you've found new ways to engage with the world.
And perhaps if you haven't played a game in a while, maybe it's time to explore what's out there. You might be surprised by what resonates with your adult self. There's a whole universe of games beyond Candyland waiting to be discovered.
A whole universe indeed. From intricate digital worlds to cozy cooperative board games, the options are limitless. And sometimes just having that shared experience with friends or family, laughing together, strategizing together, is the best part.
Absolutely. The shared human connection. That's a constant thread, I think, from childhood games to adult ones. The desire to connect and interact, even if the medium changes.
I think that's a wonderful way to sum it up. The core desires remain, but the expression of those desires matures and diversifies. So whether you're building a tower in a video game or a sandcastle at the beach, you're still playing. And that's a vital part of being human.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Emma. It's about finding joy and engagement in forms that resonate with your current self. And that journey is unique for everyone. What about those games that combine old and new? Like modern board games that have a lot of strategic depth but still offer that tactile, in-person social experience.
Oh, those are fantastic. They bridge the gap beautifully. You get the intellectual stimulation of complex decision-making combined with the face-to-face interaction that's often missing in purely digital games. I think they offer the best of both worlds.
Definitely. I found a new appreciation for those kinds of games. It's almost like a full circle moment where we return to the table, but with a much richer set of options and deeper levels of engagement. It's not just rolling dice, it's building an empire or solving a mystery together.
Exactly. And the storytelling aspect in many modern board games is incredible. It's not just abstract strategy. You're often inhabiting a role, making choices that affect a developing narrative. That taps into that childhood imaginative play, but with more structure and sophisticated themes.
That's a great point. It brings back that sense of immersion and world building that we talked about missing from childhood. But now it's a shared narrative that unfolds with your friends, rather than something you create entirely in your own head.
Right. And for some, the competitive aspect is still a huge draw. Even in cooperative games, there's often a friendly rivalry to optimize your moves or to be the most efficient problem solver. That competitive spirit is hard to shake for many people.
True. It's part of human nature, isn't it? That desire to test your limits, to see how you measure up against others, or even just against the game's inherent challenges. It's a healthy way to channel that drive.
Absolutely. And it also fosters a sense of community. When you're part of a gaming group, whether it's online or in person, you're sharing triumphs and defeats, learning from each other, and building connections. That's a powerful social benefit that games provide.
It really is. And I think for many adults, especially as life gets busier, those dedicated game nights become really important social anchors, a guaranteed time to connect with friends without the pressure of a formal event.
Exactly. It's a low-pressure way to maintain friendships and build new ones. And the game itself provides a natural focal point for conversation and interaction. You're not just sitting there trying to make small talk, you're actively engaging in a shared activity.
That's a great observation. It lowers the barrier for social interaction. So for anyone struggling to connect or find social outlets, exploring games might be a really effective and enjoyable path.
I completely agree. And it's not just about complex games. Sometimes it's the simple party games that bring out the most laughter and connection. Those games remind us that play, at its heart, is about joy and shared experience, regardless of age.
Absolutely. The timeless appeal of a good laugh. So if we're looking at the evolution of game preferences, it's not just about increasing complexity, but also about finding different facets of play that resonate with us at different times.
Precisely. It's a dynamic relationship, constantly shifting. And our favorite games are almost like a mirror, reflecting our evolving needs, our cognitive growth, and our social desires throughout life.
A mirror of ourselves. I love that. So the next time you pick up a game, whether it's a nostalgic classic or a cutting-edge new release, take a moment to think about why that particular game appeals to you right now. What need is it fulfilling?
That's a fantastic closing thought, Alex. And with that, we'll wrap up this part of our discussion on why our favorite games change as we grow up. We hope it's given you some interesting insights and perhaps encouraged you to revisit your own gaming journey.
Indeed. And remember, there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to what games you enjoy. The most important thing is that you're engaging in play that enriches your life.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this practice, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more English listening lessons on our channel. See you in the next episode.